How did you come upon this script? Why did you want to make Anonymous?
Well, like 10 years ago, I found that script. It was at that time called Soul of the Age, and I was just, from the very beginning, fascinated about the subject matter. Also, I was fascinated by the whole notion of showing a little bit different idea of how, like, the Elizabethan age was, because I think there's some misconceptions, and I kind of thought it was a good idea to make this movie.
Mm-hmm. Reese, in the movie, you played the real Shakespeare. What kind of burden was that? Did you enjoy it?
Roland asked me in his beautiful home in London which character I responded to, and much to everyone's surprise, it was the genius aristocrat.
Jamie, how did you feel working with such a esteemed company? Was it easy for you, or were you at all daunted?
It's terrifying. It's an absolutely terrifying prospect working with people who you've admired for so long, but also incredibly exhilarating. And I feel honoured to be a part of this and to sort of learn from the best. And I suppose for me that's what the job is about, to learn from people who I hold in such admiration.
Well, as a young actor, were you ever nervous about taking part in a movie that was debunking Shakespeare to a degree?
I'm nervous about taking part in any movie.
It's so true.
I was always aware of the authorship debate, but never kind of interested by it particularly, because the body of work that we all have speaks for itself, I think. But in reading Shakespeare and in reading about Edward de Vere, it's quite apparent that when you read these works, that whoever penned this beautiful body of work was, 1, well-travelled, 2, a multilinguist, and 3, who had an innate knowledge of the inner workings and the mechanisms of a very secretive and paranoid Elizabethan court. Edward de Vere ticks those 3 boxes and many more.
There's a certain, when it comes a little bit like with the terrain, when you like kind of accept, that William Shakespeare of Stratford didn't wrote it, all of a sudden the world is open to you, because all of a sudden you like kind of feel freed of like certain, ties, because I always like believed that the whole, literature establishment made this too rigid, to only like kind of believe this one man wrote this plays, and he is not quite, the right candidate for me, at least, and whatever you can read about him doesn't feel like quite the career of a writer. So for me, it was very cool to take on, like just a project where another more, interesting character, meaning, like the Earl of Oxford is the true writer. And when you look at Oxford and the work, there's quite a lot of correlation. There's a lot of overlapping thing. It's quite striking in a way. And I overall, like always thought, this is more like a movie which kind of shows you just a different picture of everything. And that also goes for Queen Elizabeth, which is quite different. So overall, for me, it was probably also for us great to shoot this movie in Germany, because we were like far away from London, and not that far, but far enough, I think, to kind of have a more different, freer look at things.
Vanessa, did you play hard to get for this role?
No, I didn't. I fell over myself again. I really did. I so wanted to play this Elizabeth. She's something of what I got when I read decades and decades ago a wonderful book now out of print by Lytton Strachey called Elizabeth and Essex, and got a glimpse then, and more than a glimpse, from Roland and John's script of a woman, a queen, who'd been through many, many terrible experiences, and perhaps some glorious ones. And by the time she became old, was disintegrating under the pressure, but clinging to things she held dear, and to memories.
Hi, yeah, this is to all the members of the cast. Did any of you feel any sort of apprehensions before taking on any of your roles, due to the fact that this is a story that could potentially upset quite a few Shakespearean sort of purists?
To me, the scenes in the Globe, the communication between the actors and the audience and the way it comes alive. I mean, I just thought that was absolutely thrilling to see. And for all those reasons, and I was just thrilled and not in the least apprehensive.
And all the people in it love the theatre, more even than perhaps in our days, which the younger people love the theatre. So perhaps we're coming back to that. Yes.
I've sat through many a play where I've wished I'd have gone to the cinema.
Yes.
But this is a film that makes me want to go to the theatre. And I think that's the kind of enduring message, you know.
I think that's a great way to end the press conference. Thank you very much, Roland. Thank you very much.
Thank you.